Okay, we're in the last match of this league. Yeah, this is a keep. It's a nice hand. Guess we are going to open up with the Swiftwater Cliffs. There's not a ton of one drops, and actually, yeah, we're absolutely starting off with Swiftwater Cliffs. The only way this playing a turn one Swiftwater Cliffs harms us is if we draw a hangerback walker and our opponent has a one drop that we want to wild slash. So it definitely seems correct to just get the tapped land in. We still get to go aggregate into Rogue, and it looks like we're playing against the Eldrazi deck, which is a very favorable matchup for us, so that's good news. So, very likely killing a Rattleclaw Mystic here, or a Leaf Gilder, or nothing, as it turns out. Alright, I'm still fine with Wild Slash going towards the face as well. So, opponent's probably just going to play Nissa's Pilgrimage, I imagine. Still no play. Alright, so it looks like Explosive Vegetation is going to be the soonest play, which we're not overly concerned about. See the vegetation play. No play still. That's just insanity. Yeah. I don't think we're going out on a limb here saying opponent is in some very serious trouble. No play by turn 4 is just unacceptable for my opponent's deck. Just absolutely unacceptable. Like, there's nothing that gets my opponent out of this now that I can think of. Certainly not a Whisperwood. Alright. Play Whisperwood and concede. That's kind of strange. Okay, so let's do our sideboard plan against this deck, which involves Disdainful Strokes. Still like the Rose because they deal with Whisperwoods. We can cut back on Ghostfire Blades, and I don't actually like Dig Through Time in this matchup because it's too slow. Can bring in more impulses to deal with Leaf Gilders and Rattleclaw Mystics, but I think the Wild Slashes are going to be good enough. And as long as we have the Disdainful Strokes and the Rose, I think the rest is just about where we want to be, I think. So, yeah, I think we're good here. On the draw, I think I am going to keep this. We get to go Ghostfire Blade into Chief of the Foundry at the very least. And depending on how we draw, we might even be able to do that differently. But I think we are going to keep this. Okay. Draw got better. So now we get to go Hanger back into Chief of the Foundry, which is actually really nice. Admittedly, don't have any spot removal for Rattleclaw Mystic or Leaf Gilder, but it's okay. Alright. I'm going to need a red mana at some point, but for now, we're doing okay. Pilgrimage now? Okay. Makes sense. Ooh, that's interesting. So, yeah, it is interesting. I can play Ghostfire Blade and attack. I can I can equip Ghostfire Blade and pump. I can also play Chief of the Foundry, but then I can't equip Ghostfire Blade or pump Hangerback, and I can only get in for 2. And so I think we have to play. We don't have to, but I think I want to play Switchwater Cliffs here, especially for Piet and Kieran setup. So I think the play is Cliffs, equip, pass, and the plan is we're going to pump the Hangerback so it can attack into a Whisperwood Elemental. Okay. Did have the Whisperwood. So he's going to be able to spit out a guy here. Just going to pump our guy. Roast off the top would be good. Hey, called shot. Nice. Still don't have as many resources as I want, but that's all right. Let's go roast on Whisperwood. And I think we are going to swing with Hangerback now. Guess I could pump again, but 4 points of damage is a lot more than 3. 1 more to be exact. Yeah, I actually think it's a good amount. So I could have brought him up to a 5/5 so he could attack into Drowner of Hope, but I guess I can pump later too. Did in fact have the Drowner as expected. So next turn my opponent's going to have Sanctum of Shrine of Forsaken Gods resources, which means 7. Looks like my opponent's at Ulamog next turn, so Disdainful Stroke off the top would be ideal. Called Shot worked last time. Did not work this time, however. And I still can't make 2 plays, so we've just really not... I can't even play my P and Kieran. Yeah. The value is not quite there as much. Well, I guess I can just play Chief the Foundry and swing with Hangerback. Seems okay to me, actually. All right. Doesn't highly motivate him to attack with Hangerback. Could sack a Scion, too, which is okay. If he sacks the Scion, which he didn't, so it kind of tells me he's going to cast Ulamog here, which seems worrisome. Much rather my opponent have Ugin. Opponent's planning to aggro us down? Guess if they have another Drowner, that maybe makes sense. All right. So the plan is just tap all of our stuff down. Red mana would have been ideal, but I'll settle for something I can play. So he's got 3 Scions. He can tap 3 creatures. We're just going to play Whirler Rogue and pass. I can even re-equip, I guess. Does that do anything for me? Guess not. I'll equip to Thopter anyway. Okay, that's beatable. Now we get a chance to see if our opponent's going to let us kill him, though, right? Guess we're not quite at lethal yet. That's interesting. Huh. So I want to keep all my Thopters because he has no flying defense. Let him kill the Whirler Rogue, kill 2 Drowners, and then he can't tap my Thopters down. This is actually interesting. Can get 3 more Thopters, but then I can't kill the 2 Drowners. I want to kill the 2 Drowners of Hope. So he can't tap on my turn. So I guess the best play is block like this and like this. He can sack the Whisperwood, though. But then he just gets to manifest. I don't think that matters. I think this is fine, actually. It's not even going to change the blocking order? Probably is. That was just weird. I don't know what my opponent was thinking on that one. That was strange. Okay. Well, we ended up going 4-1, which is pretty good. I'll give one more match to you guys since we're only 2 in. So it looks like this league ends in 5 days. So I'm just gonna have to make sure that on that day before or whatever I'm finished with the league. But yeah, we'll do one more match for you in a sec here.